So let's pick up the claim that you made in the speech yesterday. You said you wanted a better, more honest debate. You then went on and say, I've scrapped a series of proposals, you said. So let me ask you about them. Where was this proposal for the government to put a tax on meat that you had to scrap with such a fanfare?
Yeah, there were a range of things that have been proposed by lots of different people in order for us to meet.
Where was the proposal for a tax on meat?
You mentioned the Committee for Climate Change earlier. I mean, actually, if you look in their reports, they talked very specifically about saying it's particularly important that we see an accelerated shift, in their words, in our diets away from meat and dairy.
But I've just spoken to them, I've just interviewed them, and they said there is no mention of a tax on meat in any of their reports.
If you look at their report, it talks about an accelerated shift away from dairy and meat. It says
not a tax on meat.
It said that diets will need to shift away. It also says we'd have to implement measures to bring that about.
So they didn't propose a tax on meat. Where was the proposal for a compulsory car sharing that you say you scrapped?
Again, if you look in their report, it will talk very clearly about what they could describe as ride-sharing solutions, otherwise known as exactly what I was saying.
That's different from compulsory car sharing proposal.
What it then says euphemistically is one would need to consider demand-side measures to bring that about, which are otherwise known as compulsion or taxes. But elsewhere, actually, they're very open that taxes should be used to send a signal on things like reducing travel demand or the amount that people
was the government considering forcing people to have 7 bins? Another proposal you said you've scrapped?
Yeah, so if you look in the Environment Act and the associated consultations that were in place around 2021 from memory, there's a very clear statement in there about moving to consistent collection for recycling, the clear implication of which is 7 bins, and you can go through, and again, that's what people have raised concerns with, and that's what the policy work was looking at.
Hold on just a second. No, hold on a second, Prime Minister. You stand up with the authority of Prime Minister in this building and you say you're scrapping a series of proposals. And when I ask you about them, you say, oh, somebody considered and it was in the appendix of this document. There's nothing to be scrapped, which is why your former Environment Minister says you're pretending to halt frightening proposals that simply do not exist.
No, I reject that entirely.
Yesterday in your speech, this isn't about politics. And yet, minutes after this, your party headquarters issued social media things saying Rishi Sunak has scrapped this, he scrapped that. There was a press release the Labour Party. It's all about politics. You're making a series of claims that aren't true.
No, this is absolutely